If you're like me, you grew up not learning the German language. About 4 months before I came to Germany, I started learning German, and I was working through a course. Chapter 1 was numbers, chapter 2 was greetings. About chapter 4, I think, it was more cultural. And in the case of the German language, it was about the car. So there were all kinds of different terms revolving around the car. One of the central phrases was voll tanken bitte. Now, I was learning German with a friend of mine, and we started putting voll tanken bitte into our everyday lives. We would greet each other saying voll tanken bitte. When something bad happened, we'd say, oh, voll tanken. And when something good happened, we'd say, oh, voll tanken. So by the time I got to Germany, I could say voll tanken pretty well. So you can imagine my disappointment when I found out that all the petrol stations were self-service. But I had made the first important step in my journey, I thought. And then I ran up against a glass wall. And I found out, unfortunately, that Germany is really the worst place in the world to learn German. Nobody is really interested in you speaking German. Take, for instance, the other day I was sitting in a restaurant and I ordered in German, and the waiter detected an accent and leapt back and apologized profusely and said, oh, I didn't know you were British, which I'm not, and then rushed off and got the English menu. Or you might know this situation at work. You're standing at the coffee machine and your colleague Klaus comes up, and you might say in a friendly tone, Guten Morgen, Klaus. And Klaus might reply, Good morning, Peter. You're not taken back. You continue, Wie war das Wochenende? And Klaus might say, oh, very nice. I went hiking in the mountains and then I went swimming in Ammersee. And so you see this back and forth. Klaus is not going to give up. He's going to continue speaking English with you, or trying to, because he wants to practice his English, or it might be some other reason. The problem is that from a conservative point of view, a traditional to conservative point of view, people who come to Germany, skilled workers to support the boom years, which we're experiencing at the moment, are not really encouraged to integrate and speak German. And the liberal perspective is, well, I mean, why do we want to force this difficult, useless German language on people? And when we can all speak English anyway. But the fact is, you're missing out on a big opportunity if you fall for the lie that you don't have to learn German to live in Germany. Take, for example, imagine yourself in 40 years' time. You're a grandparent and your grandchild is sitting on your lap, and your grandchild looks up at you and says, Grandmum or Granddad, you lived in different countries, didn't you? And you might say, yes, I lived in Germany. And then child might say, and did you learn to speak German? What are you going to say? Speaking and learning a second language is a big life event, almost as important as having a child. And here you are. But what should you do? I mean, how do you move forward? Sure, you can ask Klaus to speak English with you, to speak German with you. And he'll probably be happy to do that once you've expressed it. But my advice is to get really involved. Get out and get involved in a project. I know of one project that involves seniors and young foreigners who get together and speak German. The seniors are very patient. If you're interested in knowing about this project, get in contact with me after the talk. Thank you.